Good afternoon and welcome then. It's just gone 1 o'clock. It's Monday and that can only mean it's Q&A time here with myself, Pete Dutton, on Rovers TV. Well, today, again, we've had a rummage round. We've emptied out a few jacket pockets. We've managed to scrape together a sum of 7 pence. And that 7 pence has allowed us to pay the appearance fee for the one and only Luke Chew Cooper. Good afternoon, Luke.
Good afternoon. I think you've paid 6 pence too much.
We did ask for a refund, but we were told we won't get him one. So, no worries, mate. 6 pence, never, Luke. Never. How are you doing, buddy?
Yeah, good, pal. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. I'm just going a little bit lockdown crazy. I think it's getting to a point where it's, just starting to do me head in a bit, but we're getting there, mate. How are you finding it?
Yeah. You know what? I haven't found it too bad, to be honest. I've enjoyed the time to spend with my wife, and it's just a little bit different, from the full days that I've been at work and and training and stuff like that, to then going to do nothing. So it's just a bit of a strange time, but we're getting by, watching a lot of Netflix and a lot of movies and stuff like that.
What's recommended on Netflix then?
Well, we've watched a few things. We watched The Tiger King. Found that good.
Carol Baskin, mate. Carol
Baskin, yeah. Liked that one. And then I don't know. There's just the few others. Like me and Missus, we watch a lot of like comedies, and we're back through watching How I Met Your Mother all the way through.
All right.
I enjoy that one. So
right. And how did you meet her mother then? So I watched White Lines. I can recommend that, Luke. That's
I've heard about that one. It's supposed to be a good watch. I've watched the Last Dance as well. That's awesome. If you ever,
right, mate. Right.
That.
I'll have a look at that. Well, Luke, welcome to the Q&A. I don't know if you've seen any that we've done with the other boys. They've all been quite funny and quite how can I put it? Eye-opening is one word that I'd use.
Slated me and all. It's been quite slanderous.
Well, hey, if I slate you, mate, it's I don't mean it. It's done through love, Luke. If the lads slate you, mate, then you've got to get them back, haven't you? You've got to get even, and you will get a chance to get even in this Q&A, because we do ask you quite a few questions about the players, etc. So we'll start off, Luke, with a few little questions about your career today, growing up, etc. And then, like I say, you can give us some juicy insights to your teammates. I'll have a few quick-fire questions, and then we'll get some questions from the viewers that have tuned in. And also, if you're just joining us here on Rovers TV, still plenty of time to get your questions in. Send them in now, and we'll ask them to Luke before the end of this Q&A session. So, you are Luke Cooper, born 28th of July, 1994. And I didn't know this, but you were born in Batley.
Yeah. Batley born, Batley bred.
Batley born.
Batley bred. Strong in back, thick in head.
All right, mate. Right. So, was it nights in the Legends, the nightclub down there? Wasn't it Legends?
Yeah, I spent a few good nights down in Legends, but the main one was Frontier.
Yeah.
Old Batley Variety Club. That were a good
one. Brilliant, mate. It says on my notes here, Luke, that I've got you down here as being 6 foot exactly.
I'll take that.
Will you?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, mate. I don't know.
A very loose 6 foot, I think.
Brilliant. So, Coops, tell us about you then. Tell us about you getting into rugby league and your kind of early career that set you on this path to rugby league stardom.
I wouldn't call it stardom, but basically, when I've always had rugby always played rugby. You know, I started when I was 4-year-old. Got my dad. My dad was a professional rugby player, so I kind of followed his footsteps, and you know, I started really young, and you know, just training with my cousins' team who were a few years older than me. And then I went and started on my own really, and I went to Dewsbury Moor, and I started really early at Dewsbury Moor until about under 10s. Then went to Shawcross, and then I played at Shawcross for all the way right through till I got signed by Featherstone. So I haven't really had like a long journey. You know, it's been one of them where it's 2-3 clubs, and then I'm here.
So being at sort of like, you know, playing at Dewsbury Moor and then Shawcross, was there never any temptation to go to play for Dewsbury?
Well, from an early age. I mean, I was 15 when I signed when I signed Featherstone. You know, through the.
All right, I didn't realise you were so young.
Yeah, I was part of the junior setup. We had a scholarship at that time, so I joined on at the. It was kind of a weird story, really. So I tried. I thought to myself, you know, it were getting to the stage where scholarship games were starting, and in like a month's time, and I'd not been picked up by any clubs, and all the players that were playing in my team, they'd all been picked up at Huddersfield and Bradford and teams like that, and I want because I never really thought that that I were good enough, really. So, and then funnily enough, a month Featherstone came in and said, "Listen, do you want to come down and train with us?" And I said, yeah, definitely. You know, and I never thought that I'd be playing, because I was one of the last people that got on the teams, and then it came round to the games, and they said, "Look, you're starting, and just shows what you can do." So I ended up played all 6 scholarship games, and then and then I got signed. I played all right. I got man at match in a few games and scored a few tries, which I don't normally do. So. And then I got signed, yeah, and it was just a bit of a whirlwind, really. It all happened within like a month. So
we saved the best till last, then, eh?
Well, you could say that, yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. When you first started out, then, Luke, at your very first rugby club, what was the position you were playing in?
So, funnily enough, when I was at Dewsbury Moor, I actually started playing. I was halfback. I just used to get the ball and run, really. I never used to. I still can't pass now, so I don't know how I put in that position. But yeah, I just used to get the ball and just run as much as I can. I think it's because I was a bit bigger, a bit chubbier than all other kids, so I just used to run past them all. Stop.
So in your youth, mate, you could have given Chizzy a run for his money, then, eh? In the halfback position.
I reckon he couldn't lace my boots at halfback anyway. Put it that
way. There's a challenge. Obviously, you joined Featherstone, as you say, at 15. And did you sort of like think to yourself, this is, you know, I want to make it as a rugby league player, and I know that if I knuckle down, I can get stuck in and enjoy the successes and rewards that'll bring me?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when I was younger, like that, it was always what I wanted to be when I grew up, you know. And I always said to myself, whenever people used to ask me, what do you want to be when you're older, you know, people have their eyes set on being a fireman, policeman, you know, stuff like that. And I always said, I want to be a rugby player. That's literally all I wanted to be. And I kept that motivation and into when I signed at Featherstone. And you know, and I took everything by stages. I mean, I joined the under-18s academy then after that, and then, you know, I wanted to be the best player I could possibly be. So we joined something called the ACER program when Darryl Powell and Ryan Sheridan were in charge, and that just gave me that little bit extra training that I needed to help me out a little bit, really. And then, you know, I kept going, kept trying to build my way up, and I always had that mindset of that's what I wanted to be. You know, from a very, very, very early age, that's what I said.
So it's, in a way, then it's kind of good that you've had that little bit of a grounding, and you've been able to, if you like, develop and grow, aren't you, through rugby league, if you like, in a way, because you've had the training opportunities and the chance that's there.
Yeah, I mean, rugby league's taught me a lot. It's given me so many opportunities to get better, and see the world, sort of thing. So I mean, Featherstone as well, they sent me out on loan to Australia in 2014 when John Bastian were in charge, and so I got to witness that, which were fantastic, and it's opened so many doors for me in terms of like in my life, and it's been brilliant.
You and young Bussy went to Oz with the Rivers Scholarship. What was that like?
It was Jack Ormonroyd.
What it? Oh,
Yeah.
I've got. Oh, well, I'm going to sack my media manager then. He's in for it, mate. He's in for it. Bum information they're giving me here, Luke.
Yeah, so it was honestly one of the best experiences in my life, and it came so fast as well. So like I was playing for the reserve team at the time. Well, under 20s and reserve team, and I got a call off Robin Sharp, who were head of the youth team at that time, and he rang me and he just said, "Listen, we've got an opportunity for you to go to Australia. Do you want to come in and we'll talk about it tomorrow before the game?" I said, "Yeah, definitely. I'll do it." But he didn't give me no more information, so he said, "That's what you're doing." So I had it in my head that the team were going to go out on like a pre-season camp next year or something like that to go and do some training. I thought, that'll be fine. So anyway, I got to the game the next day, and I had a meeting with them, and they said, "Look, you'll be going to Australia," and I said, "Oh yeah, that'd be great, and I think it'll help my game." And when does all the team go? And they went, "No, the team aren't going. You're going with one of the reserve lads, Jack." And I didn't know. I knew Jack a little bit, but I never really knew him like to live with or anything like that. I said, "All right, so what's the crack then? What happens?" They went, "Well, you're going for 8 months." And I went, "What?" And they went, "Yeah, and you're going in 5 days." And I went, "What?" Like that. So like I had to quickly. I met the decision in my head. I spoke to my dad and I just said, "Listen, I'm going, and I'm going to see what it's like." And anyway, yeah, 5 days later, I were on a plane to Australia, and it were honestly, I'd do it all again. I absolutely loved it.
It's amazing that, you know what I mean. And again, you've been in that fortunate position to do that. And again, it just shows you that by sticking at it and being dedicated to your craft, that the opportunities will come. What were your mum and dad like? When you went home and said, "Right, I'm off to Oz." Did they just think like, "Oh, he's been on beer again"?
Well, my mum nearly had an heart attack. I'm quite close to my mum, you see, and she didn't want me to go. She wanted me to stay, but she said, "No, you've got to go. You've got to have that experience." And my dad just literally, the first thing he said to me, "Right, when you going then? Like, let's go. You're going." It was really helpful in the decision that I made, because a big part of my life is my dad, and yeah.
Who did your dad play for then, Luke? I know you mentioned that he played a bit.
So yeah, he started off at Dewsbury, and then he's worked his way around, and he played for mainly Dewsbury and Batley his whole career. So yeah, but he's had a few other clubs, Nottingham and teams like that in between.
All right. So obviously a big part and a big influence, and it's good in a way, isn't it? That he's laid that platform for you, and you've been able to grow up around that rugby family, if you like, as well. Because to me, I think that's an important aspect. When people say, "Oh, how do you get into rugby league? What's the crack?" Sometimes it's important to have that upbringing into it, so that you know what it's all about.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's been a massive part of my about my life, and and he's with his guidance and things that he he's just helped me along the way, you know, and he has been a massive part of my rugby career. You know, if there's any advice that I need, I always go to him first, you know, and speak to him, and he gives me honest answers. That's the thing with my dad. If he knows I've been rubbish, he'll tell me I've been rubbish. You know, he's not one to pull his words, but he does that in the best possible way for me, and I learn off that sort of stuff. So he's been really good for me.
So in 2015, I know we've touched on a little bit, you were signed for the club, etc. Then how long was it before you went then and made your full professional debut for Rovers?
So I came back from Australia, and during the time I was in Australia, John Bastian he got sacked, and Andy A came over and took charge.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, Andy A didn't know anything about me, and he didn't know anything about like how I played or anything. He just knew that I was somebody that were already signed for the year after. So he didn't know too much about me. So I played quite a few reserve games there from the start of the year, and then I came into training one time, and the reserve coach pulled me to one side. He just said, "Listen, Luke," he says, I probably shouldn't be telling you this, but we've drawn Catalan Dragons in the cup, and I think you're going to go. You and another one of the reserve lads, Sam Day. You're going to both go to France and take part with the squad. And I thought, I'd be 18th man like I have done normally. And I went, all right. And they went, well, you'll be playing. I went, what? So I didn't really understand. And I came, and then that week I ended up going, and we nearly beat them. I think it was the weekend just gone actually that I made my debut. So we were leading with about 3 minutes to go, and then I think it was Thomas Bosk scored a try right in the end to win up the game. But we were so unlucky, and we had such a young squad out at that time. It was great to play in that game, and you know, against a Super League club as well, and to make your debut that way, it was great.
So is that one of your kind of greatest memories that you've got then of your time with Rovers?
Do you know what? There's been so many great games that I've played in, and you know, it's all with Featherstone, which is nice. I mean, the run last year when we finished 5th, and then we ended up getting to the final. That were fantastic. That's something that I'll never forget. Making my debut, against Catalans, that was great. And then there's like a couple of others that stick in your mind. You know, getting in that middle 8 competition as well, and playing against your likes of Warrington and your Leeds, and actually playing on Sky Sports TV. You know, you watch it as a kid, and you watch Sky as when you're growing up, and you know, you're watching these teams, and you're looking at these people thinking like, how can I be playing against you, sort of thing. And then you go out, and that week you're playing on Sky against some of the teams some people that you've looked up to.
Great, mate. Brilliant. You're very popular with the fans. Tell us a little bit about where this choo-choo comes from then.
So it's one of the. It started off like a couple of the lads would just take it mick really, and they set up a Twitter account in my name, and then the choo-choo stuck from there really. They say like a choo-choo train, so and it stuck with the fans. But I enjoy it, you know, and all the whenever I'm on the field or whenever I'm on the subs bench or anything like that, you always hear a choo-choo, and you can't, if you're trying to be in the like mentality to play, and you're getting a choo-choo at the back of your head, you can't help but have a little bit of a smirk or a smile, you know. So it's that really.
You'll have seen a lot of changes at the club then, Luke, during your time there.
Yeah, loads of changes. I mean, you know, I started off when I signed, I would there were Darryl Powell and Shez there, and then there were John Bastian, and then there were Andy A, and then there were, you know, John Sharp, and then John Duffy, and then Ryan Carr, and then James Webster. You know, so there's been quite a bit of change. You know, quite a lot of people have come in and out players wise. You know, I've had the opportunity to play with some absolutely fantastic players. You know, and people who like I say, I watched as a kid. You know, growing up, and I got to play alongside with them, like people like Gareth Carvell and Paul Cook, and you know, people like that. Rennie Matua, you know, who played for Australia, and it's like I'm playing with him. You know what I mean? It's like it's surreal, really.
I'm going to ask you, sort of like, you know, of all the players that you played with at Featherstone, you know, just to pick like 2 or 3 who you would say are the best to play with and that you've learned from.
Well, I think the one person who really like stood out to me, you know, and I learned so much off him is Ian Hardman. He was without a doubt one of the best defensive fullbacks I've ever played with, you know, and he was never shy about his words. He used to just tell you if I messed up, he told you, and you know, and it was great for me defensively because he just used to tell me where to go and what to do. Yeah, and it was people like that, you know, and he was a great captain. People like Lockie, you know, I don't think he sometimes gets the credit he deserves. Like he's absolutely fantastic, you know, and a real enforcer, you know, and people like, you know, if the ball were on his own line, you know, he'd be the first one to put his hand up to take that carry. He's real good leader, and he leads from the front.
Yeah, I mean, it's been great for me commentating so far this year. You know, and I've always said he's quite. I find that he seems to lift. He's very inspirational, in Lockie, when he comes on that on that park, and it's
he's somebody as well who don't necessarily say a lot, but you see it in his actions, you know, and yeah, he's been awesome for my career, you know, and you know, he's helped me loads of times, you know. So but there's been so many players who I've played in the same team with who's been awesome, you know. People like Cam King, you know, he's been awesome. Like the last year's squad, like we all helped each other, you know. And then you had somebody like Kari who were there, you know, giving you guidance as well, which were good.
So, who was the one then that you would say has been the worst influence on you?
Worst influence? Josh Hardcastle, 1000%.
Poor Josh, he's got some race stickers, Hardy. Tell you on this.
If there's one person to lead you astray, it's definitely Josh.
Right. I'm going to. I can't wait till we get him on because poor lad's in for some rape banjo. I'll tell you.
Some absolute hammer.
It's been a strong start to the season, Luke. And how disappointing for you has it been, you know, to have to stop playing? And then how much are you looking forward to getting back out there when it's safe to do so?
Yeah, you know, we started off so well, but we knew that we could play better. You know, we probably showed in our game against London that the potentials that we can get to. But other than that, we'd not played like as best rugby, and we felt like in the next coming weeks we'd really start to, you know, kick on because we were a relatively new group, you know, and there were people that have, you know, that were playing some awesome rugby, like Orley and like Alec, the assassin. They were absolutely. They were all playing really, really good. But it felt, and then as the season went on, and it's just stopped, and we just felt like we were really starting to get used to each other, you know, and which were a bit of a shame.
How much are you sticking to the Greg Stubbins fitness regime then that he's given you all?
I'm trying my best. You know, it's different because it's not like you're training with the lads, because with that you can feed off everybody else's motivation, and you can. I mean, I think the lads will end up telling you like there's one gear for me, and it's 100% in training, So and to go from that mentality in your training to go to road running and finding a field and doing it all on your own, it's been difficult, but I've been trying my best, and and I think the lads have been telling you that I've had to strap my watch on my dog so it makes me look faster.
We got told that you were just giving it to anybody and said, listen, if you take this and have a run round, I'll give you £1. Is that right?
Well, like I say, my dog's fittest he's ever been. So.
Right, mate. I'm going to ask you some questions about your teammates now. Who in the squad has the worst taste in music?
Dakota Wiley. It is absolutely dreadful.
Okay. Who fancies himself the most? Who's always in the mirror saying, "Oh yeah, look at me." And apart from Black,
he was the one answer. So, other than Blackie, wow. I think his son Sweeting. That'd probably be the second answer.
Like father, like son.
Yeah.
Who would you least like to be stuck on a desert island with?
Bussy.
Any reason?
Just a grub. He's just a grub.
Brilliant. Who would you most go for a pint with?
Probably Lockie. I've had a good few pints with Lockie. He's a good lad on the drink.
And who would you least go for a pint with?
Josh.
Hardy again.
He always gets you into trouble.
Right. Who's the funniest member of the squad?
You'd have to say Josh again, wouldn't you? He's just got an answer for everything. And it's, in my case, it's generally the three, two things that he always mentions, which I can't mention on screen here.
I was going to say it's we'll be pre-watershed here, Luke. So don't be getting this taken off, mate. Don't be getting this taken off. You can tell me later. Who's the quickest winger?
I'm not a winger.
No, but I know you're not. But who do you think is the quickest winger?
Oh, Gaz Gale by a country mile. He's been absolutely smashing this fitness. He's like lightning as well. One stride in his past 10.
Yeah, he's got long legs, hasn't he? He's got some right legs.
Yeah.
Like, it reminds me of Mr. Tickle, because it's like he's so long when he goes, isn't it? You know what I mean? So, who bench presses the most in the gym?
Definitely not me. One of the worst things I can do that. You'd probably say Cecino. He's a big, strong lad. Kind of loves himself in the upper body.
So we were saying last week when we had Dean Parata on that we're hoping he's going to come back with a bit more meat on him, because for a forward, he's one of the leanest forward you see. I mean, he puts a pound on if it rains, doesn't he? Because he's like so slim.
Yeah, definitely. No, he's very, very strong. Just very, very strong lad. Yeah,
good stuff. Who do you get along with the most? Who's like your buddy?
I don't know. I have we've got quite a good group, so it's there's quite a few people who I hang about with. There's like your Lockies, your Hardys, your Tuners, your Brad Days, and James Harrisons. Like they're all good lads. But yeah, like honestly, I could go and talk to anybody over there. They're all good set of lads.
Did you say Tuner?
Tuner, yeah.
Right, that's something else we'll chat about. I'm learning all sorts here, as are the fans. If you were going to pick a five-a-side team, to play indoor soccer, right? Five-a-side, who'd be in your team?
I'd have to put myself in there. I consider myself the Perlo of Batley. And then I'd probably say, Lockie always says he fancies himself as a footy player. I've seen him play though. He's all right. I'd probably end up putting him in. I think Ollie would be a good football player and all, so I'd probably have him in. So that's three. Josh got 2 left feet, terrible. I probably, just because I'd want a bit of height, I'd probably go Iro as well. James Harrison, he'd be a good one at the back, and then. Just trying to think now. Who else would I probably? Do you know? I'd probably put Chiz in there for a bit of flair. He'd probably bring that little bit of Ronaldo in with him. So that'll probably be my team. Very strong.
All right. Some height and some pace, mate. There, definitely. We're going to move on quickly then, because obviously, we've got to get through quite a lot. Quick fire questions for you, Luke. One-word answers. Tea or coffee?
Tea.
Sweets or crisps?
Sweets.
Brown sauce or ketchup?
Ketchup.
Pineapple on your pizza or pineapple off your pizza?
Definitely on.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Early morning or night bird?
Early morning.
Night out with the lads or a night in with the missus?
Probably. Yeah, it's probably going to have to be a night out with the boys.
Hey, good lad. Yorkshire or Lancashire?
Yorkshire.
League championship win, title, or Challenge Cup win?
League.
Old Trafford or Wembley?
Old Trafford.
Club or country?
Club.
Featherstone or Batley?
Featherstone.
Ham sandwich or cheese sandwich?
Both.
At the same time?
At the same time.
All right. Okay, Coops, I'm going to open up now to a few of the questions that we've had from the viewers. I'll get through these as quick as I can. A gentleman called Kev Cretan asked, how much of an influence has your dad had in your career?
Yeah, massive influence. He's basically, I like his shadow growing up, and he used to coach a couple of teams, around close to me, Coach Driglington and Dewsbury Moor, and I just used to follow him everywhere, and it was constantly on my mind, rugby, and he always used to give me advice, but not like it was the right advice, So I always value my dad's opinion, and he's had a massive part to play in where I am today, really.
Good stuff. Alan Lloyd asked, what NRL team do you like the most and why?
I'd probably say Souths, just because they've got a few English lads in there. But recently, I'd probably say Canberra. They just play awesome rugby all the time.
Okay. Dave Ames asked, why aren't you in your training gear, napkin under the chin?
I've got this little bit of a hoodie that I can catch stuff, so I'll be able to catch my food and have it for seconds.
Jake Millard asked, how is it that you ended up being the one to do the team songs, and do you enjoy doing it?
Yeah, I don't know. It just kind of came to me. I mean, Matty Wilde, he used to do the team song when he was at Featherstone, and then he left, and yeah, we won, and everybody were looking around like, oh, who do we get to do the team song? And they all shouted me to do it. I probably one that don't mind doing it, but yeah, I don't know. I enjoy doing it. You know, I think it's a good laugh and try and give it me all.
And can we look forward to a compilation CD then, Luke?
Hopefully, I think I've got the voice for it.
Top man. Cameron King asked you to explain the following. Where the missing ham and egg went in Toulouse. Now, he has put a caveat to this, Luke, and he says, if you say you threw it in the bin, you might be telling us a porky.
So this what happened. Like we were traveling to Toulouse, and we played on the Saturday, and then we came back on the Saturday night. And you know, I was just walking around, and you know, I thought instead of paying the stupidly expensive, you know, prices at the airport for after the game, I'll go and I'll get myself a sandwich, you know, and ham and egg sandwich. So I told the lads what I'd done, and I probably shouldn't have done that because it kind of latched on then, and now I always eat ham and eggs. But I got after the game and I had a bite out of it, and it went absolutely rancid. So I threw it. I had to.
Brilliant, mate. Well, Luke, thanks so much, mate, for joining in to this today. I hope you've enjoyed it, mate. Spread the word. We hope all the viewers who joined in have enjoyed it as well. We look forward to doing another Q&A next week. Who it will be, we don't know, but send us in any requests for who you think it should be. Luke, stay safe. Keep doing what you're doing, mate. Can't wait to see you back out on the pitch. And a quick message to the fans, Luke.
Yeah, hope you're looking forward to seeing you again in hopefully the not too distant future. And yeah, we